Greek debt as collateral for loans, many people say that that was a blackmail towards the Greek government. I think it's more than that. It's a bit more complicated. In my view, it's actually a warning against Germany to come to an agreement, because the way I see it is Draghi telling Merkel, do you really want to go down this road? Because no one wants it. Even Germans don't want it. We don't have time now to discuss. Maybe in our next.
Michael, on this, I think you're right, because what Draghi did was this was a double-edged thing from Draghi. He says we're not going to take Greek bonds as collateral, but we're going to have 60 billion euros of emergency funding through the Bank of Greece. That's fine. And then you have this Jens Weidmann of the Bundesbank saying, no, you can't do that. You can't finance government bonds directly. So there's somebody in Germany is freaked out on that.
Yes, and I think yes, and I think that Draghi is trying to come to come before the German government in pushing, so that the Germans stop pushing more. So the Germans don't be in front of the marching, the opposing the Greek strategy. Now, the main thing is here to understand what the power relations are in Europe. And in my view, Germany is looking at two very different kinds of special interests: industrialists and bankers. And I think that though bankers want to maintain the fear of a Brexit or a split of the Eurozone, the industrialists really don't, because they depend on the euro to have it's actually currency manipulation, because
right.
Because it keeps the euro, it keeps currency low, and they can sell their products. On the other end, in my view, what's happening is with this, when the ghost of a Brexit is over Europe, that's the same thing as having it has the same effects for the banks, because they have capital flows in Germany and in Deutsche Bank. But on the other hand, of course, they can sell their products. And these two interests are going to have to, at some point, it can't extend. This cannot be extended any longer, and they have to make a decision. And now it's time to make a decision with the new Greek government.
Let's say then that it's the attempt by Tsipras and Varoufakis to play the Deutsche Bank against the smokestack barons of the Ruhr and the big German export industry that really profits more than anybody from the euro. Now, how about the other side of it? There are these rumors that the Greeks have understood that London is one thing, Frankfurt and Brussels, that's another. They've hired Lazard of Paris to try to help them, and the idea being that the British maybe like to see some kind of a haircut on the continent, right? There's a kind of a tactical convergence.
Yes, they hired Lazard because it's the same company that helped with the PSI, I think, the 2012 debt write-off, the private sector involvement, as they call it,
right?
Which is bad, but anyway, it was the same company. Yes, I think that everyone understands that if Greece exits the Eurozone, the Anglo-Americans will play the markets to destroy the euro. And,
right.
And there's no way around that. And yes, they are trying to play the one against the other. Absolutely.
Okay, so what the other thing I'm hearing is that the inspectors of the Troika, and which this is getting personal now, we're reading all about Mr. Blue Eyes, Paul Thompson of the IMF, who has said in the past that the IMF calculations were all wrong multiplier effects. They underestimated the austerity. The austerity is really too much, but that these people don't dare show their faces in public because mobs come after them. That's the Troika, right? The Troika is on the way out. There's no Troika in the Treaty of Rome.
Of course, there's no Troika in the city. Yes, and I think the Troika is dead. We need not say more about the Troika. There is no Troika. Even Schäuble thinks there is no Troika anymore. They were about to be abolished anyway by institutional forces inside Europe because they were illegal. They were the illegal. They were not there wasn't an institutional legalization of the Troika.
Right, so they come in representing private interests. The other thing my sources tell me is that in Rome, Tsipras is the man of the hour. He is a heartthrob. Everybody loves Tsipras.
And the finance minister, the Italian finance minister, who says you should listen to Tsipras.
Stay on a minute, Michael. We'll just wrap up. Stay on for a second. And this is World Crisis Radio. The 6th of February, 2015. We're still on the line here with Michael Chiotinas in Athens. And I just want to mention a couple of other things. In the build-up to that interview with Schäuble, Varoufakis gave an interview to Die Zeit, the liberal paper of Hamburg. And he said, well, of course, we're in favor of reforms. We want to reform the Greek oligarchs, and we want to stop their incessant tax evasion. So that's one. The other one is we're looking at next week the European Eurogroup foreign ministers, I guess it is, and maybe finance ministers too, will be meeting on the subject of Greece. So we're looking forward to that. The general idea seems to be Varoufakis is asking for financing up until May or something like this. In other words, right now we're in a kind of a transition. He's trying to get these people to let the new government take hold. And also, we've had the first pro-Syriza large-scale demonstration. That looked like it was pretty impressive. And Tsipras' speech to Parliament on the 5th of February, which is the reopening of the Parliament. But some people have been asking me, how come they haven't enacted these laws, right? Where's the minimum wage and stuff like that? Well, that's just starting, right? The new Parliament is just getting underway. Just your brief reaction to all of this, Michael.
Yes, I was there. I was at this demonstration. It was the first.
Send us some pictures. Send us some pictures.
Yes, I will. I was at this demonstration, and it was actually very weird experience because I've never seen a pro-government demonstration. There was a sense of rehabilitation, a sense of of a new connection between Parliament and the people and the square there. It was a totally different climate. There was no riot police, no nothing. And every peace, it was absolutely perfect. The climate has changed. The approval rating of the government is something like 75%. And we're talking about people, it's the psychology has completely changed. And yes, Parliament is not yet open. It actually opened today, and with the election of the new Speaker of the House, as you call it, the new Speaker is from Syriza. She's a woman, brilliant MP, and she actually had a record of votes electing her to be speaker, a record of all time. Now, Varoufakis. What's interesting with Varoufakis is that he has avoided the two main kinds of approaches to EU diplomacy. The one was the strategy up until now, which was we are the good students. We do as you tell, as you say, and the other one was patriotic, Greek proud. We're gonna go and clash, and we're gonna exit the eurozone or anything like this. The brilliance of Varoufakis is that he has avoided both approaches. He goes with the sense of we are Europeans and we are gonna solve this as Europeans. And they asked Varoufakis, some journalists, they asked, what's your weapon? What's the weapon that you're going to use with in regard with negotiations? And his answer was reason, rationality is our weapon, and he's absolutely right.
The eidos, the hypothesis of the higher hypothesis. Michael, let me just get your reaction to a couple of things. European Central Bank says they can't use Greek bonds as collateral because this is now rated as junk. But don't look now. Here in the United States, Standard & Poor's has just paid a fine of $1.4 billion because their ratings were junk. So isn't it time to throw out S&P, Fitch, and Moody's and not let them interfere? The other one is Varoufakis talking about these perpetual bonds. In other words, bonds that would pay interest, but they would have no maturities. I would actually propose doing it the other way. Why not get 0% 50 or 100-year bonds and stabilize the debt situation that way? The growth-linked bonds